everyone, and welcome to another episode of Shares. Today, as you can see, I'm very glammed up, and the reason for that is that I like taking pictures, but I also like to show another side of me. So today I want to talk about why do we hide that side of us? Why are we not ourselves all the time? And what does that do to hinder our personalities and our fire that we've got to show the world? So why are you dampening your potential? And what do we do in those situations where we feel like we can't actually be ourselves? And what sort of personalities do we adapt to around certain people or in certain situations? Now, I have spent far too long being someone I am not, or at least not showing the full potential me. I've been quite quiet over the years. I've been quite withdrawn. I've been to myself. I've just kind of dimmed it down a little bit. Insecurities, motherhood, relationships, you name it, job problems, all sorts of stuff will really pull the person down. And it's in that moment you've got to think, okay, how do I want to come out of this? Who do I want to be? Using what I've learned and the experiences I've just had, what am I going to get out of this? What sort of person am I going to be from it? What can I take from it? And again, it's taking like some of the good with the bad and moulding that to benefit you, to lift you up. And again, you might find a new version of yourself. I know I did plenty of times, and I'm still like just churning over different versions to think, okay, which one really fits with me? Which one really speaks the truth of who I am and who I want to be? And what I want to give to the world is ultimately the biggest thing, really. There's so many things I want to do and so many people I want to help. But I can't do any of those things if I'm not showing up as myself and reaching my full potential. So why am I allowing society, people, jobs, whatever, have an impact on that? Why am I letting that, why am I letting those things affect who I could be and the potentials I could reach? You tell me. Now, I'm not saying go into a room and the idea and the aim is wanting to be liked, because then again that's going against the whole point of just being you. The whole point of being you is that you attract the people that align with you, that align with your presence and your aura and your energy and can connect on the same level as that. And you don't want to be intimidating either, because if that's how you feel when someone else does that, you don't want to make other people feel like that, because you're going to end up suppressing their energy or their potential being just themselves. And you want to connect, and the end of it is just about connecting with someone and not being afraid of that either. You go into the room and force those connections, so don't go into the room and shrink yourself either. And I guess it's a fine line, it's a bit of a balance of knowing who you are before you step into this metaphorical room, and accepting the people as well for who they are. And we talk a lot about self-acceptance, but we never really talk about accepting who everyone else is and how everyone else is and how they work and how they process certain situations and be around certain people. And if you're that sort of person that they get the same feeling as that, oh, okay, this energy is a bit too much for me, try and encourage them to be themselves, start the conversation first, be the friendly one, just help them bring out the best in them as well. This can go into friendships and family and relationships as well, because sometimes you tend to have the two opposites and one's more overpowering than the other, and what happens is you tend to not get on, and sometimes people break down, and the marriage or the relationship, whatever, might break down as well, because those connections get lost of trying to lift each other up. And I say marriage because I'm married, that's why I always say marriage first. But any relationship really, any ship that you're on with anyone is affected by this. So really take into consideration how you are with your presence and how other people's presence affect you, and to not let that basically get in the way either way. It's a journey, guys. Now, one way I do this is reminding myself exactly who I am and what I'm aligned with, what my values are, what my ethics are, what I guess my personal ethos is to bring to the room, to bring to the table, to bring to the world, and so that I don't lose sight of that when I am around certain people or certain situations, that I don't end up morphing just to fit in, because then I'm not being me. And again, you end up, you do that through life, because especially with like things like jobs and careers, you tend to mold yourself to fit whatever it is that you need to do to get into the room, to get that job, to be seen, to be heard, and you can go through years and years of doing that, and you forget exactly who you are or who you were. Or maybe it actually changes for the better and you mold into someone you wanted to be, and it has more of a positive outcome than a negative one. But it's at those points where you start to question yourself and think, stop and rethink this whole, let me just be someone who I need to be, to get in there. Don't do that. Just right off the cuff, straight away, bam, this is who I am. Now, I'm not saying that you always have to be loud and leery and blah 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 in people's faces to show people who you are, because I'm not like that, and I don't dress like this all the time. I'm normally in like sort of jumper, jeans, joggy bottoms, whatever I need to be in to be comfortable. I'm a mom, so of course I'm running around most of the time, or I'm lazying around most of the time. My jobs aren't always glamorous, hell no. Like half the time I'm working these jobs I absolutely hate, middle of the night, stacking shelves, unstacking shelves, pushing trolleys, like, so I'm not saying you have to be that person 24/7, but what I'm saying is that make sure when you do show up as your authentic self, that you are literally that person that you're aligned with all the time. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, but it's who you're presenting, what you're presenting to the world. I mean, it's good to get that off my chest. And to say my chest isn't really covered right now, so there's a lot coming off it. These talks are really important for me because it's something I have wanted to do for years, and never did. Again, one of those things that I just allowed myself to bury, and not just do it. Why? Because everyone's opinion always matters to us, right? And we allow that to affect us as well. Walk into a room and do whatever you need to do to get them to look at you. I'm kidding. Do whatever you need to do to remind you that you are it too, just as well as everyone else is in the room. The aim is not to be liked. Yeah, the aim is to just like. That is it's terrible advice. 5 things. Remember who you are. Stay true to that. Shine your light regardless, and share your light. The aim is to always lift others up.